What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning into this episode of English Turks, where I review your favorite Turkish series with and without English subtitles. And today is the weekly update. And so this is a new series that I'm going to start on this YouTube channel because I am always so busy and it's just hard for me to get things up on YouTube. But I am posting on a lot of other social media platforms, and so I figured on Saturday we could spend time with each other just catching up on all the Dizzies of the week, and I'll tell you where you can find the content for the Dizzies that I've watched this week. Now, if you are not aware, I am watching 5 Dizzies at the moment, and I've recently added one more. And to top that off, there are 2 other Dizzies that I'm considering starting, but I haven't done so yet. I'll talk about it a little bit later, and then you guys can let me know in the comments if it's something you think I should or shouldn't start watching. Alright, so let's start off with Monday, which is Sefirin Kizi. I finally caught up with this Dizzy, guys. I finally made it to be up to date and watching in the same time with you guys the new episodes as they come out. And honestly, I really wish that I had stuck with it, but I'm glad that I was able to catch up. And so in this past week's episode, there was so much emphasis on something that I just had to write a blog post about, and that blog post has actually gone a little bit viral because it seems like everybody who's seen that blog is obviously thinking the same thing. So if you haven't seen the blog for Sefirin Kizi, I don't want to give away the title because I'm just gonna say that it's about Yaya. So if you're interested in that, go to EnglishTurks.com and we could talk more about that on that blog post, because I'm excited to see what's gonna happen in this week's episode and if what I predicted in that blog post is actually true. The next day is Menajerimi Ara. So this is a recent show that I've started watching. I think they're on episode 4, and I actually did a podcast review for the episode. Dijale, she's recently found out, and so has everyone, but her father, they found out that he's selling out basically. And so I've shared my thoughts of that in the podcast. So if you haven't seen the podcast, you can go to Spotify or your local podcast channel, or you can look on our Facebook page for the link so that you can listen to that podcast. It's actually gotten a lot of listens. It has the most listens so far out of all the podcasts that I've posted. So this is really cool because that means there's a lot of fans coming out. Wednesday comes around and you guys know that's Sen Çal Kapimi Day. I love it, Sen Çal Kapimi Day. And I actually did a podcast review for that episode, episode 10. And the crazy thing is that the second Fragmin came out today. So if you go on our Facebook page, you can see an English translation for the Fragmin, and I'm super excited. And even on this YouTube channel, I've posted that Fragmin, or if you're watching this on Facebook, either or, you can find that Fragmin with the English words in there. And I'm super excited because it looks like Serkan has actually declared his love. So we'll see what happens in next week's episode. Now I just can't wait. And Thursday comes around and I've just started watching this show called Yeni Hayat, and I actually did a blog post and I did a podcast on this episode, on the last episodes that I've watched. Now this week's episode, I didn't finish watching it. I started it, but I didn't finish. I think one is because it was super late at night, and then the next day I didn't have enough time. And then 2 is because, if you didn't know, like, Yasemin actually kissed Adam, and I was like, so many people are trying to justify if they get together and cheat on their significant others, it's okay because Yasemin's getting abused, and it's obvious that Adam's wife is hiding a little secret, but I'm just not okay with it. So I was not that enticed to continue watching, but I did read a Facebook post where someone said that the viewing is really low. So I'm definitely gonna try to watch it probably today and see if I can catch up with the new episode. But for the first 2 episodes, I did do a blog post and a podcast for both. And then, of course, yesterday was Yalnis. I actually haven't watched it yet. I will after I film this video and edit it and post it. I'm going to watch it, and I'm probably going to do a podcast review on the episode that just aired. And then finally, this new show is called Masumlar Apartmani. I just started watching it. It came out with its very first episode sometime this week, and I watched it, and guys, I absolutely love this show. I absolutely love it. And I did a podcast review for this show, so if you head on over to our podcast, you can watch it. And if you didn't know, for every single one of these shows that I'm watching, if you go to our EnglishTurks Facebook page, we have separate groups for each one. So any content that is out there that, you know, I'm always like looking into content and stuff, you can go join those groups, and then you'll be able to see that content. Like even Sen Çal Kapimi, the English version is on there. So if you want to join any of those groups, you can. Now there's actually 2 shows which I'm gonna need my notebook in my hand to tell you about. Ariza and Gunde Kotu Gulne. I don't know, guys. I cannot pronounce that. But I know that this girl here, she was in that other show that we all loved. And so, I don't know. These are 2 shows that have just come out, and I'm considering watching them. You guys let me know if you started watching them. Are they worth it? But as you know, Turkish series, they are 2 hours long. That is 2 hours of my life that I'm sitting through each one of these episodes. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 2 is 12. That's 12 hours a week I spend watching Turkish Dizzy. So I don't think I can add any more to my arsenal, but if any of those are super good, let me know in the comments below, and I'm excited. I'm gonna go ahead and go and watch Yalnis, and I'll see you guys next week for our weekly update. Bye!